welcome back to another video. Today, of course, back on some more Battlefield 4. This time, I wanted to start a mini-series. It was actually suggested to me in the comment section that I start something about how the weapons are different from Battlefield 3 to Battlefield 4, and that really caught my interest, and I thought that's a really good idea. So, here we go. Now, to start things off today with the first episode, we're taking a look at the SG553, and you may notice that the gameplay to begin with, it is of course the AK-5C. Now of course we'll get to the SG later on. I haven't actually unlocked it throughout this piece of gameplay, so I'll pick it up fortunately off an enemy a bit later on. But I do have to say this weapon in Battlefield 3 may have gone quite unnoticed. Now if you're someone who, when you get told, have you ever used the SG553, and you might go, what's that weapon? Then exactly that's the point. A lot of people will have that same reaction. Maybe that's not just you. I did quite like it because it was a lot of fun to use. It was very accurate. It was very stable, very controllable with the recoil and everything. It was very nice to use. The hipfire was very nice as well, especially once you start using those attachments, the scopes, the laser sights, the heavy barrel, which significantly improved this weapon. But the only downside was it was a co-op only unlock, just like the Rex, the M39 and the G3. They were only co-op unlockable, which was kind of a downside. Fortunately, Battlefield 4 at the moment doesn't have a co-op, and if I were to say it was to have a co-op, possibly, because as we know, Bad Company 2, when it launched, didn't have a co-op mode per se at launch. In December 2011 it got the Onslaught mode, which was a lot of fun, so Battlefield 4 might follow on the same lines. But we're not here to talk about co-op mode. Basically I'm just expressing the point there. But the SG553 in Battlefield 4 has changed quite a lot, at least for what I've noticed anyway. I haven't unlocked too much for it. The rate of fire has definitely increased. They've definitely changed it up. The spread, I wouldn't say was too much more. The recoil, however, is a little bit more buoyancy than Battlefield 3. I think Battlefield 3, the version anyway in Battlefield 3 had a very, very low recoil, whereas in Battlefield 4, it's kind of increased, maybe not a lot, but it's definitely increased to an amount that's a little bit more uncontrollable at range. At close quarter combat, you'll drop people instantly. The rate of fire has increased quite a lot, so it pumps bullets into people significantly faster. I don't really know how to express how this weapon is different, but you have to try it to find out. You can of course equip it on every single class, which I do like. So if you're someone who's struggling with these sniper rifles, then just slap one of these carbines on there and away you go. Now I could sit here for hours on end talking about how the weapons have changed from Battlefield 3 to Battlefield 4, and that'll get boring very, very quickly. But for me, a weapon that catches my interest would either have to look good or sound good. The SG553, however, hasn't really changed too much in appearance wise, but in the sound department they've definitely bumped up the sound of it, at least not only on the carbines, obviously on the assault rifles, the LMGs, sniper rifles, shotguns. For example, in the beta I got to use one of the two shotguns available, the semi-automatic version, not the 870 unfortunately, and they definitely increased the sound, making it feel more powerful than it probably actually was. And I think that's the case with the SG553 as well. It sounds really, really beefy, where it doesn't really pack too much of a punch. Of course, I haven't really unlocked too much of the attachments, just a red dot sight, maybe a laser sight. Maybe the heavy barrel might increase it, obviously at range it will, but making it more powerful, I don't really see that happening. It doesn't really matter what kind of attachments you put on it, it's all about personal preference and the situation. So maybe if you're playing Operation Locker, you might want to go with a silencer, a foregrip, and maybe a holographic sight, so you've got those close quarter combat stealthy approach. You might want to go for the loud and proud approach. It's completely up to you, but either way, so far from what I've used in the weapons of Battlefield 4, they have definitely increased in absolutely every single way. It's also about knowing how to control the recoil of most weapons, especially the LMGs. So if you have that kind of knowledge, then you'll do very, very well. It's all experience and the learning curve. But either way, I do hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, until next time.
anytime.